Man, scriptures.
Hey
everyone, welcome to the next episode of the FS On Air podcast. You've got your boy here, and you've got your other host, Flash205.
Yo, what's going on?
So, looks like it's just us this time, so why don't we go over some stuff that's happened recently? Star Forger, that's ended recently. Gotta give some congratulations to the big man on top about all that. Spider is absolutely killing it with that. Pretty cool ending. I don't know how you make a fun show out of a kid who literally has his entire universe disintegrated, but he pulled it off, so props to him for that. And here, why don't you take the next one?
Yeah, we got Justice League of America still going strong, other than not being able to do a session when it was supposed to, but it's going great. We got me as Batman, and I'm having fun with it. I'm still hired somehow, and I still have my job. I thought I'd be fired a long time ago. No, it's a joke.
You're great. You're great, man.
Thank you. And then we got Hunter as Superman, the rest of the Justice League, Chucky as Wonder Woman, while doing great work, and we got Gary as Vandal Savage. Can't forget him.
Absolutely killer work there, and then you got me as like 15 million side roles, but also Jay Garrick, so that helps.
Yeah, it's important. And are we, Proteus, how far are we into the movie again? Are we like Act 2?
I think we're nearing about the halfway point, but you know what? I think people are going to appreciate the turns that we take in it. I think it'll...
Very true. I agree.
Then Faux Threes is getting further into it. It should be almost done now. Or, well, maybe not almost done, but almost done. Like, we're just getting past halfway there, I guess you could say.
Jeez, that movie's been going on for so long.
It's so dense. There's so many plots going on. You gotta give it time.
How long is that movie gonna be, like, in real time? Like, if it was a real movie, like, is it gonna be like 3 hours?
Don't ask questions. Just go with it.
Okay.
It's a good movie. You're just mean.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe Chucky could answer that one day. I don't know, but
this isn't gonna turn into SM6 all over again, where everyone's just like, it's too long.
Oh, and also we can't forget the Mighty Thor, directed by Jeff.
Yes, of course, that's just been getting well into production, and I like where it's going so far. I like how he took a similar approach to Follow the Gods, and it's doing like a multi-mythology approach to that. Very nice.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think there's anything else here. Is that anything else, Proteus?
No.
What?
Oh,
hello?
Oh, hello.
Obama.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Who's this?
Flash, we forgot about Howard.
Oh, Howard, right. What's up, Peri?
Yeah, what's going on?
Hello, it is I, the indomitable, the hateable, the lovable, the director, the other word to describe myself, Peri.
We totally didn't forget about you. We were just
totally, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we should talk about that since while we're here, we should go into that a little bit. What gave you the idea to start making a series about, a character that most people forgot existed until Guardians of the Galaxy teased him?
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure my first idea for Howard was to make like a shit post, because really I didn't know anything about Howard the Duck. So when I first wrote my first draft, which was awful, it was like 3 sentences long and was just a surrealist, like, trash.
We all got to start somewhere, and clearly you've improved your craft since then, so no shame in that.
And then the second time, it was still a movie, but I abandoned that very quickly before turning it into a show.
I think it works a lot better in the show format because it just does a lot. it works a lot better as both like, comedy and more like, explore the more underbelly of the MFSU.
Yes, also I get to tell more stories that I want to tell using Howard the Duck as a show instead of as a movie where I have to make it one single plot that can somehow like possibly last about an hour or so in real time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Flash, I think you've definitely enjoyed the show. What do you think about it?
Well, this is what I was getting into. I was gonna go into this point. I have been a little bit, under reading. Like I haven't been reading that much, and I think it would be beneficial for both me and some of the audience out there if Perry could, like maybe give us a little summary or a synopsis of the show or what's going on, just to kind of maybe a little bit of advertisement, just to show people what's going on.
Um, a synopsis of recently. See, season 1 happened. And in it, we saw Howard the Duck go from a major asshole to more of a mellow person, someone who has gone from just this I will get my way or everyone will suffer to this person who just kind of accepts how things are and is willing to go with the flow as a result.
He kind of, I guess if I could help a little bit, he kind of starts out as like the worst parts of Howard, from uncut gems to like someone who's actually, trying to be a good person, trying to recover from their drug addiction, and trying to not push away everyone in their life for the sake of getting a fix.
Yeah, that's actually kind of accurate.
Was it a coincidence that they both have the name Howard though?
I mean, she started this before. I mean, it's based on a character that was created long before the Sadfies were ever making movies, and she started this before that ever happened. But there was a brief campaign when it was coming out there for Adam Sandler to be Howard. I'm not really going to comment on that, but
Hey, I would love that one day.
I mean, frankly, I'm fine with Bruce Campbell Howard, but I must say, looking back on it, that cursed edit that your brother made was pretty. That was so surreal.
Season 2 so far has been pretty much just misadventures. The most recent episode at the time of this recording was episode 13, which was mostly hindered by myself. But in it, basically, I explore the idea of, hey, I know this is fiction, but we never actually saw Howard become a legal citizen in any Howard media before.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, like, I think even in the movie, and I think even in the, like, when the comic started out, he just kind of crashed in, like, a metal ship, and everyone's just like, oh, cool, he's a duck. We don't need to worry about him.
So you spent an entire episode on his becoming a citizen?
Yes,
like
because he is, like, he's a sentient person.
He's a
he can
duck.
talk, so, like, it makes sense. And in the end, it works out. It's all happy. He gets his citizenship. He gets to keep his, his tax office because other than the random drug trips, which granted, admittedly, I do like how you took some of that and like made it more like a comedic thing when he had like the marijuana drug trip in the second episode of the new season. Like, other than that, he's just a normal guy who happens to be a duck.
Man, I love episode 12.5. It's so fucking stupid.
I mean, it was funny. I mean, I know I was only like part of it for like a little bit, but like, who doesn't love Howard? Like, I loved when, like, Beverly walks in. He's like, "Who are you talking to?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm just having a conversation with like freaking Mark Hamill and Yoda on like this surreal planet." And she's like, "There's no one there."
Wait, Howard talked to Yoda?
It was a drug trip, but he did.
That
episode is half canon. It's it takes place at an earlier date, but to make it like fully canon, we're gonna have to get to a later episode. But I'm not gonna spoil that yet.
And rubbing moment.
In terms of my favorite episode, I'm gonna have to say my favorite episode is the one at the amusement fair where Howard gets drunk and it ends up ruining his relationship with Beverly. That is my favorite episode. I think personally that all of the writing in the episode was just astounding.
I guess we will see when that comes to fruition. What do you think of all that? Flash definitely sounds like a fun ride.
I mean, it really does. I mean, you got drug trips, you got ducks becoming citizens, or one duck, I guess. I mean, it definitely sounds enticing. I gotta be honest with you.
I gotta say, season 1 is actually more depressing than season 2. Season 1 is just it's more like a character study on Howard the Duck.
Got a lot of black humor, which I appreciate, given that recently they kind of just think that he's Deadpool but a duck, which I really don't like, just making characters that are more humor oriented into Deadpool, so I appreciate you not doing that.
I actually have the 2015 comic, and that's kind of basically how they portray him. Granted, it's actually a really well written comic, but it does kind of annoy me that is how they portrayed it. And for me, I just kind of portrayed Howard as this more serious character than anything. Because who else besides me would take this character who's a fucking ridiculous idea and just make him into something serious and somehow well written?
I mean, George Lucas tried to. I mean, he didn't succeed, but the creator of Star Wars tried to make Howard the Duck into a serious movie. So, take that for what you want.
And he had weird sex with a woman, right? In that movie.
Sex. I mean, he did in the show too. He did in Howard the Duck.
Oh.
That's canon. That's one of my favorite scenes because of how fucking idiotic it is.
Shout out to all the cast members. Poon as Howard, definitely doing a good job. Jedhu as Spider-Man is like a side character, and of course, our man Cucky Sneezes as Beverly. Wonderful work.
Another female role.
Also, Proteus has been really good.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I know that. I guess it might not seem very highbrow, but you know what? I always have fun with it.
Wait, Proteus, who do you play?
Well, he plays several characters.
I mean, I've been at May. I've also been Paul Same, who is played by Mark Hamill.
Paul Same is my favorite character right now in terms of the show. He's just there. He's like a part of Howard's imagination. But maybe he won't be in a future episode.
Well, if he's part of his imagination, then he had to have seen him, or at least someone who looks like him at some point.
No, he's more like that guy that you see in your dreams. You know that image? Have you seen this man in your dreams?
You're just describing the G-Man right now.
Dr. Freeman.
Is something wrong with me, or are you telling me that you don't see the G-Man walking out of just the black darkness in your dreams? Is that just me?
He just stares at me all night.
No. It's like this image of this very generic looking guy who's designed to look like as many people as possible, and it's an image that a lot of people think is disturbing because of how uncomfortable it is, because you're just like, maybe I have seen that man. Yeah, that's basically what Paul Same is to Howard.
Fair enough. I like that idea.
Except played by Mark Hamill. Because Mark Hamill is badass.
Definitely. Anything else you want to address with the series?
In terms of what's coming up with the series, I think everyone is going to enjoy some particularly upcoming episodes. One of which has just a powerful ending, and the other which makes 12.5 fully canon. Also, the end of the series is coming soon in about 7-8 episodes. And I'm really looking forward to that one. I think that is my favorite of the episodes that have not been acted out so far. It has the strongest outline, and it's going to be the beautiful conclusion that the series deserves.
So no season 3? Just season 2?
No season
Wow.
3.
Damn,
Season
bro.
2 only. At one point, I wanted to do a season 3, but my ideas for season 3 were so kind of mixed, and season 4 was just kind of not very good. Season 4 would have been like Doom ripoff.
Well, you could always refine your ideas and make it something else. Or you could do other shows maybe, or
I mean, yeah, like, I mean, we do that all the time. Like, FS directors always, if they can't use an idea somewhere else, they might scrap it and utilize it somewhere where it actually works.
Yeah, we'll see about that. In terms of like post Howard, what I'll be doing is, Johnny the Homicidal Maniac and Martian Manhunter. Really looking forward to those two. I got a few more projects up the pipeline. I just have to finish their outlines for. And it's just, there's just going to be so much stuff that's coming for me. It's all going to be unique. Maybe some of it will be reminiscent of Howard. Maybe in the future we'll get a reunion episode. I don't know.
Ooh.
So can I just say that I find it like it's kind of amazing that how like in the across like not only just the MFSU, like every single Marvel project we have, Yoda is somehow semi-canon, and Spider-War is like a distant universe version of Spidey, and like he's a fictional character that appeared in a dream in Howard. And I think some people asked me to make like Skrull Yoda after Fantastic Four, which, I mean, I can't say that there isn't a Skrull who might look like him. I don't know if we'll ever see him. If I get an opportunity to make it work, maybe. But I guess I can say he's probably out there somewhere.
Yeah, I'd really like to address the Yoda cameo in Howard. The Yoda cameo is one of my favorite things I've ever written because of how stupid it is. I think did a really good job at it, but why I'm addressing it is because some people might be confused as to why Yoda is in Howard the Duck. That's simple, because Star Wars.
When's George Lucas gonna make a cameo then?
Yeah, is he gonna talk about? Is he gonna complain? Show up and complain about the white slavers?
George Lucas shows up in Howard episode 19.76, and he just is like, "This show is nowhere near as good as my masterpiece."
Peri v. Lucas, Rise of
Peri v.
Howard.
Lucas.
Dawn of cinema.
Dawn of Howard.
I'd watch it, to be honest with you.
Actually, you know what? That reminds me. I never really talked about what goes into an episode.
That's true.
In terms of what goes into an episode, my outlines were all like written like pretty much around the same time. The entirety of season 2 was just kind of written in a day, and then I had to edit it to include ideas that I wanted from season 3 and 4 into season 2, and I did all that editing in a day.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, like, sometimes sometimes inspiration just hits and you gotta roll with it.
Gotta grind it
I
out.
might have a bad sleeping schedule.
Who
I
doesn't?
think everyone can confirm that is a hits moment.
But in terms of like directing an episode, directing is usually pretty easy unless I'm just in this automatic mode where I'll be like, do this, and then we skip it. And that's actually what happened with episode 13. I had written in the outline that a specific thing would happen, ended up skipping it, so then I was like, we're gonna do this bit to replace that. And
Fair enough. At least it worked out well enough.
I wouldn't say so. I'd say episode 13 is probably one of the weakest episodes in the series, mostly due to my directing handling.
mean, it's not bad, and there's always. I guess it was probably time slot constraints too, which I can't fault you for, because time is the enemy of everyone.
Yeah, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 watch group. I didn't get to attend that, so
Me neither.
I was in and out, but I gotta say, like, I have no idea what came over me, but I was like taking screenshots every 5 seconds. It took me like an hour to crop all of those images, and then halfway through, I was like, "What am I doing with my life right now?" But I was like, you know what? It's worth it.
Andrew Garfield's in the house right now.
I just want to say, screw that movie, screw you, Johnny. I don't know, but also stand wrestling. But screw that movie. Thank you.
Anyways, before we finish off, before everyone just riots and burns down Flash's house, let me just I want to say at the end of this, this is just off the cuff. I want to dedicate the end of this episode to some recently departed members, Gwyneth and Heckberger. They will be dearly missed, valued members of the community. We will miss them, and we appreciate their contributions while they were here.
Heckless Burger is. I said he rose from his grave, dude.
Oh yeah, I love that wanker.
No one's ever really gone.
I remember the time he and I were in a server once, and I said "oi" and a bunch of like British stuff. He fucking kicked me. It was funny.
Usually he's a good sport about that, unless you just really start hammering with him with like the bin jokes.
I think I said like, "Oi, you want to go to Nando's?"
Cheeky Nando's, innit?
I think that's exactly what I said.
Well, he's eating biscuits and tea up in heaven right now.
Yeah, and just as like I probably should have said this at the start of the recap, but considering I just talked about Gwen, I'll say that everything that at least most of what she was talking, what was announced to like Green Meanies with that she was doing, that's still going to happen. Especially look forward to The Invisible Man by Howard himself, Poon Kikes or Cakes. Sorry. Damn it! I did it again. I did it again.
God.
I'm sorry. I'm a mess, y'all. I'm a mess.
All right, before this episode ends, I'd like to make a shout out to someone.
Okay.
And those half Japanese girls, they do it to me every time.
Okay.
Teaser moment.
Oh,
All right, Stan Spider-Man PS4.
I agree.
Very cool. Very cool. Anyway, I think that's going to be all from us. I'm glad you came to join us, Peri.
Thank you for having me on. It was a lot of fun.
All right. I think that'll be all, and we will see you guys next time. Thank you for listening.
Bye, audience.
Poggos.